Hi everyone, it's Kim, Angel Dream Crafts, and I'm here with my next design team project for Craft Supplies for You. And as you can see, I've made a book. I know I do make a lot of books, but I love making them. They make me so happy. And I have sold a few that are in my Zibbet shop, and this one will also be in my Zibbet shop as well. Um, and I decided to do the blue and cream color tones again, but this one has a tiny bit of green in it, um, just because I love this image so much, and it sort of lent itself to add a tiny little touch of green here on the front. Um, but my other blue and cream one has gone to live with a lovely lady in Ohio, so I thought, I would revisit these colors, and I just love them. I think it's one of my favorite color combos. So let me get started and tell you what I've done. This is your standard sort of book base with 4 pages, and I've sewn down the middle, and sorry, my hubby came in the room. As happens when you're filming. Anyway, getting back to this, I've used lots of goodies from Craft Supplies for You, so let's get started and I'll tell you what I did. As I said, I started off with your basic standard book base, and there's lots of really good tutorials out there of how to do your bases, and I basically learned from watching Margaret Tomaso. She did a really good tutorial on how to do the base, so that's kind of where I have gone with mine, and just changed and embellished things the way that I like to do them. So after the book base was complete, I added a vintage doily, and it's got some beautiful cut work, and you can see it more on the back here really. And I just love these cut work doilies. So it was an oval shape, so I just folded it over so you can see some on the back, well, a lot on the back, and then some still on the front, which you can see down here, and a tiny bit up here. And after I had done that, I layered on some beautiful, gorgeous trims from Julie's store at the bottom. So we'll start down here with this beautiful, gorgeous lace right here. Remove all my dangles. And as you can see, that is one of the most beautiful trims ever, and it's a really popular trim. She's still got some of that in the store, so if you don't have any yet, I would suggest to grab it because a lot of people love this trim. It's so pretty. Nice and long, just beautiful quality as well. And then on top of that, I added one of the dangles that she carries, which is in a beige color. So let me get that down here. I hope you can see that one. Sorry. I'll get it. It's really a nice long dangle, and it's also in a crochet cotton, you can see here. And then on top of that was a little white one that she had, but I don't think she has it in stock anymore, which is there, right there. And then this one was one I had in my stash that was white, but I tea-dyed it to get the right color for the book that I wanted. And then after that, I started to embellish on the top, and you can see that I've made some flowers as well. And these are some of my rolled roses that I showed you guys how I made them the other day, and I'll put a link to that video at the end of this one. And then these two here are done with the technique of cutting the circles and then burning them with a candle. Now there's lots of tutorials out there, but if you guys want me to do one, let me know if you would like me to do a tutorial on these flowers here, because I'm happy to do it. And I actually use some more of that beautiful blue wedding dress that I have. You'll see a lot of it in this book because it just worked out so well to use. So that's what I did there. And then there's a little flower here that I sort of twisted and rolled. It's tucked in there. Not sure if you'll be able to see it too well. There you go. And I added some pearls to the center, and that's another one I can show you guys how to do. And then this one here, I had the flower. I think somebody made it, but I did not make the flower, but I did gather some lace to put underneath it, and then I added a little doily behind it. So those are the flowers. And then here is that beautiful chain trim from Julie's store, and I tea-dyed that, so I added a piece of it around the image of this beautiful girl. And the beaded trim is from my stash, and that was also tea-dyed, and I also used that on the spine as well. So that's what's on the spine. And then this beaded piece here and the flowers I had in my stash, but they went really well with the color tones, so that's what I used. And then I had this white gathered lace in my stash as well, and that's the last piece I have of that. I've had it for quite a while and I don't remember where I got it, so it was just like a stash sort of piece. But Julie's got some beautiful embroidered trims, and I'm out of them, so I'm waiting for my next box to come from Julie. It's an addiction, this lace addiction. It really is, you know. So here we go with the first two pages, and I hope that you will be able to see them. So the first page is a pocket page, so let's show that one first. And I've made a nice deep pocket here. I love doing pockets on angles. I just think it looks really cool. And the lace that I used was some eyelet, wide eyelet that I had in my stash. And that's one of the laces I dyed. There's still quite a few of my dyed laces I have, but I'm going to be doing another batch in this beautiful blue because I just love it. And so I used that as the pocket, and then I used tons of Julie's trims as embellishments. So we'll start over here. This one underneath here. Let's see, this one. I put it all around the pocket. It's a beautiful crocheted trim. So it goes all the way around from this corner all the way up to the edge of the book. So I added a nice big piece of that, and then I added this dangle trim from Julie's store right there. And then this trim is from Julie's store, and it's white, but I tea-dyed it. And this is the same trim that you see here, and I made a flower out of it. And I am going to come back and show you guys how to do this flower and a few others with some of her trims that I have figured out. And everybody that I'm on Skype with is kind of like really excited about it because it's really a fun way and a different way to use your lace. So I'm going to come back in a few videos from now because I'm waiting for my box to get here and show you how to do this. So it'll probably be late next week that I get that video up. And then I stacked a doily behind it. And then this trim, I did 2 layers of this beautiful trim, and that is from Craft Supplies for You. These flowers are actually from a white lace from Julie's store, and again I used the Dylon dye to dye them blue, and then I just cut them out of the lace. There's another piece of that beautiful chain trim from Julie's store, one of her doilies from the mixed doily pack, and then a piece of that beautiful blue wedding applique. And then this little trim was also from Julie's store, but I think she's out of it. And I'm very sad because I love it. It's white and it's just got the tiniest touch of blue behind it. So that is my first pocket page. So there you go there. And then this is the next page of this beautiful little girl that you can see. And starting at the bottom, I've used this white lace here from Julie's store. Absolutely gorgeous Venice trim right here. I hope you can see that. Yeah. And then on top of it, I've used this beautiful embroidered lace from Julie's store, and it actually came this color. I love that color. And this small dangle was just a little bit that I had left in my stash, so I used that. I created this flower here by stacking some doilies and then just gathering some trim. So the base lace here is from Julie's store. I'm hoping you'll be able to see it. It's a beautiful little embroidered trim. and I tea dyed it. And then this trim is vintage from my stash, and then those little rosette flowers from the blanket I got on eBay, I dyed those. And the square bling is from Craft Supplies for You. I love that square bling. And then here at the top, I've made another one of those flowers with the same trim from here. But this time I kept it in white, and I put a little doily behind it. The beige trim with the flowers is from Craft Supplies for You. A little applique from my stash. This applique is from a lace that Julie did have in her store, but she's trying to get it back in. It's all sold out right now, unfortunately. And then, of course, I used some of the blue appliques from that wedding dress. I cut these flowers out of a larger lace and then added just some blue clay flowers and some little heart flat backs just to finish off the page. And then behind it, like the first thing I did, I should have actually started with that, but it's just a very, very pale light blue lace that I had in my stash. And then, of course, this sweet little girl. She's so adorable. So that is that page and those two pages together. So there you go. And then now we come to the middle section. And I've got two more beautiful girls, and I'll do these pages together because they're essentially like a mirror image of each other. So I put some vintage lace from my stash down first. Then I put my images down, and all the images are backed with felt. And then once they were down, I used this wider Venice trim from my stash just to edge them. And then this lace at the top was from my stash as well. And I think that's it, except for the blue appliques. Everything else is from Craft Supplies for You. This beautiful piece in the center is new in Julie's store. It's a vintage bridal applique. Well, I don't know if it's vintage, but it looks vintage to me. But it's a beautiful bridal applique, and this is only part of it. It was actually a bigger applique. These flowers here that you see scattered around with the bling on them, they're from a lace from Craft Supplies for You that I just snipped out. And then there's two here and then two over here. And then the laces at the bottom, this trim here is from Craft Supplies for You, and again I coffee dyed that one. I just love how it came out. And then underneath that is another dangle trim from Craft Supplies for You, and then underneath that one is this beautiful, we call it the peacock lace, beautiful 2-layer Venice trim. Julie is sold out of that at the moment, but she's trying to get it back in, and we have maybe sourced that out, so I'm hoping that that works out and we get that back in the store soon because I love it. It's one of my favorites. And then, of course, I added a few little bling and some of the brown clay flowers and these beautiful, adorable little girls. Aren't they sweet? So that's the middle section. And then this page, another beautiful little girl. And I made another flower here with some trim from my stash. Again, the square bling is from Craft Supplies for You. This trim underneath it is from Craft Supplies for You as well that I tea dyed. And then the doily there is from KS4U from the mixed doily pack. And then I think I got this doily from Donna Little, I'm pretty sure. This beautiful ivory colored bridal trim that you see here comes in that color from Craft Supplies for You. So I've edged the page there. This little ruffle trim here in the ivory that I edged the page with, also from Craft Supplies for You, as is this blue and white gimp. The beautiful flower here from KS4U, and the two beaded pieces, and of course the blue appliques are from my stash. And the white lace that you see behind here is one of the wider laces from KS4U. So that is that page with the beautiful little girl with the great big huge hat. Love that. There is, what's underneath here? This is a lace from my stash. Oh, and there's more of that beautiful trim here from Craft Supplies for You. That this is Maggie's favorite, I believe. Maggie White. That's her favorite trim, I think. Right there. There you go. I think she's got lots of that in the store too. And then the last page, I created another pocket page. And I used a square doily from my stash. It's nice and deep. Let's see, what do I have at the bottom? Oh, I created my own dangles again here. As I did in one of my recent videos, how to create a vintage embroidery hoop. That's the lace I used that I cut. It's got the circles in it to create my own dangle. And then this white one here is also from Julie's store. And then this little one's from my stash. This corner piece here with the circles is from my stash. These flowers are from a bigger lace from Craft Supplies for You, as are these two. And I just cut the flowers out so I can use them like appliques. It's a great way to use your laces. And I've added some little rhinestone flowers and clay flowers. This was a little crocheted piece that Lily sent me a while ago, and it's the last one I have, and it just worked perfectly. And I just put a little tiny rhinestone in the center just for a little tiny bit of bling. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but there it is. And this was a beaded piece I had in my stash. And then some vintage wedding lace back here. So that's the last pocket page. And finally, we're at the back again. And I've used here another flower from one of Julie's laces, some vintage blue eyelet and dangle trim from my stash. This grosgrain ribbon Julie sent me a while ago, so I've used it there. Julie, thank you for that. And some fringe trim from my stash. So this is my beautiful cream and blue fabric book. And I hope that you guys like it and that you will check out Craft Supplies for You. And all the links are below in the description box. So definitely go and check out Julie's store. And stay tuned for some photos. I will add still photos at the end. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.